Hey Zwifters, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be discussing the new Urukazi release, and this new expansion to the Makuri Islands was released just on November 9th, which is probably a couple days ago at the time of watching, and it was in the November 1.31 game release by Zwift. And I'm going to be discussing my thoughts, where I think this course would be useful, like when in Zwift racing I think that this will be used, and some things that I wish Zwift had done, and what I think is coming next for Zwift. In this release, there were 8 new routes, and the first route is bridges to boardwalks, 5 miles, country to coastal, 20 miles, fine and sandy, 6.6 miles, island hopper, 11.1, island outskirts, 7 miles, Makuri 40, 25, one of the longest routes in Makuri, Mech Isle Loop, 2.5, the shortest route, Turf and Surf, 15.3 miles. The full route details are available on my website, zracecentral.com, so go head over there and check out the blog section. That's where the routes will be located. So when I first saw this new course on the press release, I was kind of skeptical. I didn't know if I would actually enjoy it, because based on the pictures that Zwift was releasing, it looked to be a lot of sand and dirt, and at the time we did not know that sand had the same rolling resistance as pavement, which I think that might be something that Zwift might be changing later. They just might not have had time to really perfect that before releasing it to the public. But I think that at first I was very skeptical. I did not think that I was going to like this world or this expansion, and I thought that this was going to be one of those things like the jungle where I was just going to completely avoid for my entire time Zwifting. And if you think about it, I will really avoid a course if I do not like it. So like Yorkshire, I have never free ridden in Yorkshire unless it was in a Zwift race, or an important race actually, because I would not just race there for fun. And same with the jungle. I don't ride the jungle for fun. I just don't find it fun to like ride on Zwift dirt. I'd rather go outside and ride dirt than ride on indoor dirt. But once I got into the course, I actually was able to ride it just right when it was released. So I got to be one of the first riders to ride on this course, and I think I was super impressed. The graphics were amazing, and it's something that we've never seen before on Zwift. The same can kind of be said for all of the expansions that have been in the Makuri Islands, such as Nyokyo and Yuvezi. Everything that Zwift is doing with Makuri Islands is just incredible, and shout out to the Zwift game designers. It is just amazing how well the graphics are on this course, and just the scenery is incredible. And I do not find myself disliking the gravel that much. I didn't actually notice it that much because I was too busy paying attention to the scenery. Now, if I were in a Zwift race, I think that the gravel would bother me a bit more, but not really, because it's a race and everyone's dealing with the same thing. Rather than if I was just free riding, I could just be riding on Tempest Fugid over and over again. And it's pan flat, it's tarmac, so I'll be speeding. So one of the things I like the most is just the whole coastal feel. It's a very peaceful feel, and it just makes the experience a lot more relaxing, and you can really just chill and pay attention to the scenery rather than looking at your power and stuff like that. This is the world or this is the expansion where I would definitely turn the HUD off like I have in this video clip and just ride. It's just so many small details that you can take in, and the reason why I like this more than Nyokyo and Yumesi is because Nyokyo, it was pretty great at first, but then it's just like it's too bright and it gets boring after a while because you're seeing the exact same thing over and over again. Whereas this, you see beaches, you see forests, you see other things like waterfalls and old mines. It's pretty cool. And Yumezi, I just really dislike Yumezi. Yumezi, at first, when you first see it, it's you're thinking, okay, this is some of Zwift's best work. But then after you ride it 1 or 2 times, you just get bored, and it's just like there's nothing different in Urukazi that you can't find anywhere else on Zwift, other than the increased graphics quality. This, you don't really see this much unless you're riding in the jungle. In the jungle, it really doesn't have much variety. It's just a jungle for probably around 8 miles straight. Whereas this, you'll be on a beach for maybe a mile, and then you'll transition to tarmac, going around these older rainforests, and then you'll bypass a waterfall. It's pretty cool stuff. So one of the courses that stood out to me the most was the Isle of Mecca course, and that's a 2.5 mile course. We saw a 2.5 mile course released in the Nyokyo expansion 2, and I think that this new course is going to be a very popular crit course. 2.5 miles is literally perfect for a crit course. It's got 124 feet of elevation each lap, which is pretty much perfect. There's a great variety of scenery and tarmac, and it'll really make things strategic, where if you could use a steamroller on the course, it'll make things a lot more exciting in Zwift racing, I think. So on to something that I did not like about this expansion. What I really didn't like was that Zwift didn't have any climbs of any sort in this course. It's a pretty mellow course with some rollers here and there, but there really were no climbs, and what I was really hoping for was maybe even a short KOM that would like go up to the top of a waterfall or something cool like that. But we didn't get any of that, and we're really just lacking climbs in this new expansion. Now, some of you who are sprinters, you're probably like, this is awesome. We got 6 new sprint segments, which I did enjoy the sprint segments. They were nice sprint segments, but I think what I really wanted were some climbs, and I think that's fair to say because there really are only 2 climbs in this entire world, and none of them are probably longer than 10 minutes. The one in Nyokyo is probably around 5 to 6 minutes, then the one in Urukazi is probably like 6 to 8 minutes, and we're just lacking that 15-minute climb that can be seen in Watopia, France, or Innsbruck, and pretty much all the courses in Zwift. Now, when would I ride on this course? So I think that this course is probably my favorite course that I would free ride, and this is a course that I would like to do free rides on. But for workouts, I think the varying tarmac, depending on whether I'm using erg mode or not. Normally I don't use erg mode, so the tarmac kind of messes up my power. I would still do my workouts in Watopia on a flatter, more mellow course. But if you're using erg mode, I definitely use this course because it gives you something to look at while you're suffering and being tortured by whatever workout you are doing. For races, I think that there are certain parts of this course that would be interesting to race, but other than that, I don't think I would race this course that much because of all the changes in tarmac. It just makes things complicated with bike choice. Now that does also make it strategic, but I don't know, I just can't really see myself racing much on this course. I'd rather stick to courses like Crit City or Richmond, France, or those types of courses. So on to what I think is coming next in Zwift in terms of new roads. I think that Zwift is going to continue to expand the Makuri Islands, and they're probably already working on the next expansion. So I think that it probably will be releasing in around 7 or 8 months. And after the restructure of the Zwift employees, Zwift said that they're going to try to get more features out quicker because the demands are slower now, and they have more time to work on things like new roads. I think that the next thing that's going to come is going to be Mount Fuji that you can actually see in the background right now if you are looking at the screen. So I actually don't think that is going to be Mount Fuji exactly. I think it's going to be something like Mount Fuji Valleys or something like that, because for them to make a direct replica of Mount Fuji just wouldn't go with the rest of the Makuri Islands if you think about it, because what they're trying to do with the Makuri Islands is kind of make it the next Watopia. It's going to be more of a unique thing where they're going to do their own thing. They're going to take inspiration from these climbs but not follow them directly. So that's exactly what I think Zwift is going to do with Mount Fuji. They're going to make a climb that is probably pretty similar, but not exactly the same. They're going to have some mystical things in the climb, such as probably some mechas because that's what we've been seeing a lot everywhere, and that was seen in Umezi and this latest release in Urukazi. So I think that it's going to be probably around a 1 to 2,000 foot climb. It's not going to be anything crazy like Ventop. I think that Ventop is going to continue to be the hardest climb and tallest climb on Zwift, but there will be a decent climb that is going to be somewhere in between Nyokyo and Urukazi, because there is a pretty big gap in between the two of them. This pretty much concludes the video, so thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoy exploring these new roads. These are by far my favorite roads that I've seen before, so enjoy and ride on. Catch you all next time.